What's up, guys? I hope you guys are super duper well. Today we are doing a Q&A. So I posted in my YouTube community for you guys to ask, some questions, any kinds of questions that y'all had about me, about my life, about soccer, football, whatever you want to call it. And just ask away, ask as many questions as y'all want, and I will answer some of them in today's video. I figured, listen, I'm at 1,400 subscribers, and that's insane. I genuinely never thought I would get to that point. So I want to thank you guys. This is my way of thanking you guys. But also, I want to get my community way more involved with my channel, because I feel like I just speak to you guys, I yap to you guys. That's all I do, right? So it's you know what? Let's get a dialogue going. Let's get a dialogue going. Let's talk to each other. Let's get to know one another better. That's what I want out of this channel. I want to get to know my community. I want to get to know the people that I'm preaching to. And I want to be able to learn from you guys too, right? It's not just a one-way street. We're a family. We're a community. We're soccer players. We got to stick together, man. We got to stick together. Otherwise, none of us would get to where we need to go. So yeah. So if you ever do want to ask a question and be in one of these Q&As in the future, all you have to do is just subscribe and comment on one of my videos. Or if I post in my community, just comment under that community post. Or even ask me questions on Instagram. I will be, on the lookout, and I'm just gonna be answering questions, trying to get my community involved. That's kind of the point, of having a YouTube channel, apart from here, there, money, is actually talking to people, interacting with people, and getting to know my audience, man.
How's your relationship with Feirense? What became of that situation?
All right, so unfortunately with this, it's a little bit touchy. So my relationship with Feirense started out really good. Honestly, I was training with their youth team for a while because the pro team hadn't been set up. They got me in real early. So I got to know a lot of the youth team players and stuff like that. I had known some of them in the past from just playing in the Fluminense under 23s at the time. Fluminense being the biggest club in the city of Feira de Santana at the time. And things started off great, especially with the vice president, Jefferson. He was, we had a great relationship in the beginning. We really did. He would, every now and then, he would, take me to training. He would drive to my condo and pick me up and take me to trainings. And we had a good relationship, genuinely. He really did want to help me. He really did want to sign me, and he did end up signing me in the end. But things, as you guys know, as you guys saw throughout my journey, throughout, me documenting the season, things just started deteriorating. As things got worse, right, my relationship with him kind of dwindled, and things kept getting a little bit worse. And it took kind of a head when he wasn't paying my salary. So he still owes me the whole season's worth of salary. He did not pay me a penny. Not only that, but my transfer never went through. My international transfer did not go through with them. So I ended up not being able to play the whole season. And I actually put some of my own money into getting that done because the club said that they couldn't afford it. So yeah, I ended up losing out. Financially from that opportunity. The only one that trained every single day. I was the only one that was early every single day. I was the only one that gave it 110% every single day. Genuinely. Even the other players admitted that. Even the coaches admitted that. The coaches that left, coaches that stayed, they all admit that. And things got to their worst when the Islamophobia started. Basically what happened was, I was getting a lot of names being called. I was getting a lot of insults from my teammates, because I'm a Muslim, basically. And I went to Jefferson, who was the vice president, who is the vice president, and I complained to him. And he saw it all happen, And he basically went, yeah, it's your fault because you are a Muslim, so it's your fault. And you let them, you know, like, you got offended by it. And that's when, for me, everything just completely broke down because he never paid my salary. He never did the international transfer. And then he was blaming me for getting Islamophobic comments because I'm a Muslim. You can't, that's, how does that make sense? So yeah, my relationship with Feirense is not good at the moment, unfortunately. If they want to patch things up, I'm more than open to that. I have given them every opportunity in the world to patch things up, but they never took it. And so I am probably gonna be, you know, doing some litigation against them.
Did you sign with a team? Do they support you financially? And how does it work where you're at?
So as of right now, I'm actually not with a team. However, I'm back at home. I'm back at home in Los Angeles, California. I'm doing something part-time. And I'm training, recovering my injury, making sure that I'm okay for upcoming trials, hopefully. And I'm waiting on my agents, basically, to, you know, formulate a plan for me for this upcoming preseason and off-season and stuff like that. So my job is to make YouTube videos, make some money, and stay in shape, stay healthy, and the rest is on them.
My question to you is, what are some of the toughest challenges you face professionally when dealing with clubs and their managers? Also, how shady and money hungry are most club staff?
So when it comes to dealing with clubs and their managers, I don't know. I mean, each club is a little bit different. There's definitely clubs that are more professional than others and that are more formal than others. So you have to really be careful with how you speak with people within a club. And I'd say the biggest challenges when dealing with stuff like that, honestly, is like just really getting your foot in the door and creating like a solid connection. And that's the most important thing, right? Because if you want to create leads, if you want to like build a network, you have to make sure that you have a solid connection with somebody. And that's not just being like a good player or a good person. You have to show that you're really worth them investing their reputation and their time to help you out. And you help them out as well, you know? One hand washes the other. In terms of the club staff and corruption, I've not seen it. I mean, I have seen it, don't get me wrong, but it's not common, okay? It's really not common, especially with club staff. With club staff, like, you know, the kit man and the assistant coaches and stuff like that, like, it's not common. You're not gonna see that because these are people that are trying to rise up in the world of football. And so I wouldn't say it's, you know, corrupt necessarily. They just want to, you know, make a name for themselves. And they're kind of in the same boat as us footballers, right? They need to make a name for themselves. They need to build good connections and build a good reputation, right? So every single little thing counts for them just as much as it does with us. Now, with that being said, I have seen corrupt people in football, as you guys know from my YouTube channel. I've seen corrupt agents, I've seen corrupt club directors, corrupt club presidents, corrupt coaches. I've seen it all, really, but it's very rare, and you can tell right off the bat. You can tell what their situation is. You can tell how they're acting, right? And honestly, if you want to know those secrets, if you want to like see how you can tell if someone's corrupt, just, you know, watch my videos, watch my channel. I expose everything. I lay it out on the line for you guys.
What happens if a coach is biased?
If a coach is biased, you will probably see it straight off the bat. And honestly, most coaches are going to be biased. Why? Because they have their players that they know they can trust. If you want a coach to be on your good side, or I should say, for you to be on a coach's good side, you kind of have to prove it. You have to prove it on the pitch, in training. You have to really fight to get their attention, because remember, you're not the only one there. You're one of 23-man roster, 24-man roster, 33-man roster, whatever it may be. You're one of many, and he needs to divide his attention amongst all those people, all those players, and he needs to see who's performing the best, who's consistent, who's the best at what, what philosophy can I bring to this team based on the players I've got. So he has to think of a million things, and that's something that us footballers forget, is that we're very egocentric. We think that we're the center of the world, but to a coach, we're one of like many. So we have to get his attention. How do you do that? Run the hardest in training. Put in 110% into every tackle. Don't lose the ball. Be the loudest person on the pitch. And go up to the coach. Go up to a coach and ask for his opinion. Go up to a coach and talk to him. Ask him how you're doing. Ask him what he thinks that you should be doing in order to stand out more or in order to be a better help to the team. Show up on time. Actually show up early. Because in this industry, being early is on time and being on time is late in this industry. All right, because you need to set the highest of standards if you want a coach to be biased towards you. You want them to be biased. You want them to have a bias just towards you. If they're not biased towards you, after you've done all of that, after you have proven yourself, after you've gone time and time again, like kind of what happened with me at Amadense, right? I proved time and time again that I deserved to be in the lineup. And it got to a point where the coach was so fed up with the president's decisions that he actually left. So, and the president just wasn't playing me for any reason. And it was ridiculous. And everybody thought it was ridiculous. And everybody could see the situation that was happening. In that situation, you have to leave. Okay? Don't sacrifice your mental health for that kind of a situation. I ended up leaving. I ended up canceling my contract because in that situation, I had taken all the steps that were necessary. I made sure to take all the steps that were necessary, and things still didn't go the way they were supposed to go. So that's when you have to go like, hey, thanks for the opportunity, but we gotta part ways.
Hi, I live in Sweden. Next year I will be 20 years old. I have a Swedish passport. Is there any possibility for me to make it into semi-pro or pro? What leagues am I considered a local player so I don't have to compete for an Outlander team spot? Is it only EU or are any other countries included?
So if you're Swedish, you are a European player, you're an EU player. You can go anywhere in the European Union and be considered a local player. So you actually have a huge advantage over somebody like me, where I'm just an American citizen. So I am considered a foreigner. I can only take up a foreigner spot. I can't be taking up one of the EU's positions. Unless I marry a European or something, then I'm considered a local. But yeah, so you have a huge advantage, right? You can go semi-pro if you'd like. In Sweden, the Ettan 2 and Ettan 1 are, I believe they're professional actually. And then the 5th and below might be semi-professional or amateur. But yeah, the top 4 divisions in Sweden are professional. But 4th and 3rd is kind of almost like a semi-professional. But you still get paid and they give you accommodation, whatnot, and it's still a very high level. With that being said, you could go to any country in Europe. You can go to any country in Europe that you like to go play. You want to go to Croatia and play 5th division? You can. Want to go to Romania and play for Soccer Visa FC? You can. You want to go to Finland and play in the 3rd division? You can. Want to go to Latvia and play in the Virslīga? By all means, you know what I mean? So yeah, your options as a European are vast. So take full advantage of that.
So you got 0 official minutes in NCAA Division 1, but you made it as a professional? How does that work? That you got no playing time, but your teammates that did never went pro?
So yeah, you're right. I got 0 official NCAA minutes to my college career, right? I played a lot of friendlies, showcases, stuff like that. None of it, unfortunately, counts. I played a lot in the spring seasons and stuff. Scored goals during those games. But you're right. The reality is I got 0 minutes. But you're wrong on certain other things. First of all, I'm not the only one from my college team that went professional. So we had Ramon Howell, who played in the USL Championship with Nashville and a few other clubs. We got Nacho Miras, who was a goalkeeper. He played in Spain, and he was playing most recently in Belgium's second division. We've got Nico Campbell, who was a goalkeeper for the Tampa Bay Rowdies before he got injured. We got DeMar Rose, who played for the Jamaica national team. Who else? Rafael Mensingen is currently a professional in the USL Championship right now, and I believe he's playing for North Carolina FC. So he was a teammate of mine as well. And I believe there might be a couple of other guys playing Nisa as well. So yeah, quite a lot of our guys actually did end up going professional. You know what? More of them should have gone professional. More of them should have gone pro, genuinely, because they were better than me. That's why I got no minutes. I got no minutes because they were better than me. They were better than me at the time. They might be better than me now, still. Probably. They were naturally more talented than I was. But, I didn't spend all my time drinking and partying and hooking up with people and jumping out of third-story frickin' apartment buildings. So, if they didn't do all of that, maybe they'd be a pro and I wouldn't.
Do you think Asian football is a good opportunity? And do you know these French YouTubers?
Well, I don't know who any of those YouTubers are. I don't really watch French YouTube. To be honest, man, after high school, because I did go to a French high school, right? I went to Le Lycée Français here in Los Angeles. And honestly, after that, I kind of avoid French stuff like the plague. To answer the second part of your question, Asian football is a really, really good opportunity. I mean, I would totally do it. I would be so open in going to Asia. That'd be so cool, especially depending where in Asia you're talking about. Because remember, the Middle East is also part of Asia. So going to Dubai or Qatar or Iran, or maybe not Iran because of the whole political situation. But, going to those Middle Eastern countries with, oil money, I'd go, man. I'd totally go. But countries also probably Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, they love football, man. They love soccer. So I would go to those countries as well. And the money's pretty good there too. Cambodia, Vietnam, potentially. I'd go there, yeah. Kazakhstan's league is getting better. I follow that. I follow those leagues to a small extent. And I'd be 100% open in going to those, for sure. I just don't have connections there. And like I said, my YouTube channel is all about, football's connections, man.
How to deal with mental health of getting rejected or unappreciated?
I'm still trying to figure this one out, man. I'm trying to figure it out myself. But for now, what I can tell you is that it's part of the process, dude. Rejection is part of the process. You're gonna get rejected hundreds of times. And you kind of have to be ready to get rejected, because everybody gets rejected. If you look at any footballer's story, they've gotten rejected by clubs. Lionel Messi got rejected by Boca Juniors and River Plate when he was a kid because they couldn't afford his growth hormone treatment that he needed. It wasn't oh yeah, he's not good enough, but there was still a reason and they still did reject him. Right? So a lot of teams in Argentina rejected Lionel Messi. And look where he is now. I mean, Pelé got rejected. Ronaldo Fenomeno got rejected. You kidding me? Zlatan Ibrahimovic has gotten rejected. If Zlatan has gotten rejected and Lionel Messi has gotten rejected, who are you to not get rejected, right? Who are you to not get rejected? We all get rejected, man. I understand. Listen, I do. I understand. It's horrible. It's terrible. I feel that way too, man. I struggle so hard with the rejection that I face every single season. Every single season, I face rejection. You've seen it on my YouTube channel. If you're a long subscriber for long enough, and you've seen my older videos, you have 100% seen all of the rejection I've gone through, and it's horrible. And I feel terrible. It's horrible, but part of you has to understand that it's part of the process and you just have to keep going. Otherwise, if you stop, they win. The people who reject you win. You don't want them to win. You want to win. You want to beat them. So you just have to keep going. Someone will say yes. If you're talented enough and you work hard enough, eventually someone will say yes. Someone will say yes. And then what happens? That's the yes that takes all those no's and just throws them out the window. That's the reality. That's the reality. That's the truth. You know, I faced so much rejection when I was in college. I faced so much Division I college rejection, and then Valpo said yes to me, and all of a sudden I was a Division I player, just like the other 205 freaking teams. I was at their level, and they had all said no to me. I got one yes. So it just takes one yes. And it's tough, and you gotta fight through it sometimes, and sometimes you just have to cry, man. Sometimes you just gotta cry through it. You just have to just accept those feelings. It's okay to not be okay. I'm not okay a lot of the time, but eventually I will be okay.
What else outside of soccer do you enjoy? Show us more of your personal life.
This would require this would probably require a whole video of its own, man. Like my life outside of soccer. That'd be a cool vlog idea, maybe. Like and comment if you want to see it. Alright, I'm done. My energy for today is so done, man. My social battery has just run out. So yeah, that's really, really exhausting, man. Putting all that energy into a YouTube video and not just being like, this is what you must do if you want to become a professional. Like showing your actual personality on camera, or like a facet of it, is a lot harder than it looks. So I'm gonna relax a little bit, but thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe. Please watch my playlists. Watch my playlists on loop so that I can get the watch hours required to get monetized. Because if I can get monetized, then I can make better content for you guys. Way better content. I can go on more trials. I can get more boots, do more boot reviews. I can get more soccer balls. I can train better. I can show you more training sessions. All of that instantly gets better. So please subscribe. Anyways, I love you guys. You already know this, but I appreciate you all. Thank you for watching. Peace.